I spent over $1,000 worth of Garmin products as a new runner. Here's how it happened. If you don't know me, my name is Dalton. I'm a runner who just shares tips and tricks of things I've learned about running, but I used to not be a runner. If you knew me in July, I was not considered a runner at all. I just got a full-time job that was basically me sitting at a desk all day. I also broke up with my girlfriend at the time, and because of that, I really got bored with my strength training, so I didn't really know what to do. I just felt like I was in this rut. And I just want to make a change to feel free and alive and not sit at a freaking desk job. Oh my gosh. So I decided to pick up running. Why? Honestly, it was because it was the only thing that sounded free other than skydiving, but skydiving is expensive and too far away from me. So I chose run. Some people say, oh, what are the best warm-ups to do as a runner? What are the best exercises? How often should you run? But for me, I was thinking to myself, what makes me the absolute coolest runner possible? So obviously the first thing I hear is a watch I clearly never heard of, which is called Garmin. So you know how you're supposed to do your research on seeing what types of products are out there for the company you're interested in. You do a little bit of research on, what are the specs, what you're gonna get, what are the features and all that. I didn't do any of that. Well, this is kind of nice. They got more than one. So I ended up coming up to my conclusion, and I ended up paying for a watch that was $899. All right, so I just think that my Garmin watch just came right now, so I'm gonna check it out. Oh, look, what is that? All right, so right now I got this $900 Garmin watch. It is the Fenix 6 Pro Solar, so I'm gonna be very careful opening this just to start off and not make any mistakes. Fits pretty nicely if I don't say so myself, but how do I use this thing again? Even though I didn't really know how to use the watch yet, it actually motivated me to run anyways, a lot, because if you spend $900 on a watch, it's gonna make you run for your money. But even though I spent a lot of money on a watch, I gained it all back in cardio. And they said running would be fun. I don't think that's true at all. This freaking sucks, man. How did anyone do this? I hate running. I don't know why people do it. People do this for 13 miles, and I don't know how you guys like it. This honestly sucks. But aside from that, trying the Garmin, because Garmins are meant for runners. I ran a mile right now, and not at the best pace, I'm just gonna say that. But there's totally a bunch of features on this watch right now, and the first one to start off is activities. You got dozens of activities on here. There's walking, pretty simple. There's strength training, running, trail running, ultra running, treadmill running, bouldering, there's hiking, they got obstacle course racing, yoga, stair steppers, they have e-bikes, they have skiing, they got freaking tennis. I don't know why a Garmin person would play tennis. I don't think that matches just from hearing Garmin. But those are a couple of the settings right now. And if I'm gonna be used to running more than 1 mile, I sure as heck better do a lot more. So I did end up running a lot more around the months of July and August, and I was able to run way more comfortably. I started running up to 3 miles, 4 miles, and then 5 miles, even all the way up to 8 miles, a little bit during my long runs. And didn't really run in the past as often or really at all. I was very shocked on being able to run about 20 miles a week. And also at the middle of this time, I was looking at runners on the internet, such as Shervin Shares and Nick Bear, and I was coming across some of their videos, and one of the things that they mentioned was zone 2 cardio training. And this honestly blew my mind when I was watching them. I don't know why, zone 2 just sounded really cool for runners, but if you don't know what it is, zone 2 running is having that aerobic base. The aerobic base is you being able to run longer and also being able to help you run faster. But that is all reliant on heart rate. Thankfully, Garmin does take track of your heart rate over time and also gives you trends of such as recovery, how much effort you're exerting yourself. But one thing that I noticed is my heart rate in particular when I was working out was very off. For example, I'd be running up a huge hill in my neighborhood, but for some reason, my heart rate would be 110 or 120. And if I'm pumping gas on a hill, my heart rate's not gonna be 110. So I decided to actually do a little bit of research this time of what types of heart rate monitors were really the best. No, not the ones that go on your arm, silly, the ones that go on your chest. So I came up to the conclusion of deciding to go with this bad boy, the Garmin HRM Pro Plus. All right, so I just got my Garmin chest strap right now. Came from Amazon. I don't know why they bothered to ship at like 8 p.m. at night. They do that for some reason, but I'm gonna start putting this on my runs and we're gonna just see how it works out. So when I got this Garmin chest strap and started trying it out on my runs, it honestly was a lifesaver in terms of accuracy because this thing does so much. And I was honestly surprised that this chest strap was a ninth of the price of this. So I was like, huh? Why? But just having the strap with the watch, it just was a game changer using this for my running journey. I was able to actually understand like how fast I was going with my cadence, just my pacing throughout running, and then also the heart rate especially, because now my heart rate was not like crazy low or crazy high off very minute things. And then also having other factors such as how much energy you are moving forward, moving back. That was just crazy because it just really points out how bad of a runner I was, just my metrics, because Garmin also has like this dashboard which tells you everything in a nice, very neat pile. Honestly, that was such a helpful factor throughout all of this. But what a lot of people mistake about running is they think, oh, you need running it's just to lose weight. I wouldn't say it's just that. It's not just a means of losing weight. It's honestly a way of life. It helps out so much with your everyday life because the more you move in your life, not just running, but even walking and just basic activities or going upstairs, it's just a huge help because you feel more free. You feel like you can actually do something, like you're in momentum for whatever that is. It doesn't have to be in running. It could be even in cycling or kayaking or whatever other active sport you want to do, or strength training. You being active and moving is so helpful, and that's why I decided to really get this watch and as well as this chest strap. All right, so one thing I do really like about this watch is that it gives you a lot of progress of saying, hey, this is like something you need to work on, and it like coaches you out throughout the program. And like so far, it tells me the VO2 max. It tells me if you need to do low aerobic training, if you need to do high intensity cardio training, and they'll actually give you workouts throughout the time. Honestly, for me, that's a huge motivator because for someone who never really got used to running, knowing what I'm going to do throughout my days, that just felt like super productive. One thing I would say is that this watch has definitely helped me a lot on my journey. And before, if you guys remember, I complained about running a mile, but now I can run 8 miles up to 10 miles pretty comfortably on my long runs. And for someone who's never ran a lot, but then, 5 months later, I feel I can actually do this piece by piece. Like when they say go from couch potato to marathon, not exactly that, but it just feels really good for the progress I made. Hopefully this is like a motivation for people who want to be more active. You just don't know where to start. Do you need a watch? No, you don't need it, but if you really want to make that investment into yourself, then over time, I highly recommend that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe down below so you guys get updates on more stories like this, as well as running and fitness tips. So as always, thank you guys, and I will see you later.